Let the chaos reign.
Chaos Reign presents the Manosphere, broadcast August the 18th, 2019. Enjoy.
Expressed on Talk Real Solutions, hosted by Tyrone Thompson at TalkRealSolutions.com, are the views of Tyrone Thompson and do not reflect the views of TalkRealSolutions.com, YouTube, or etc. The content here belongs to Talk Real Solutions and its many contributors. Views and opinions expressed by all contributors belong to them and not TalkRealSolutions.com or Tyrone Thompson, the host, or etc. All data and information provided on the site is for informational purposes only. Talk Real Solutions makes no representations as to accuracy, completeness, correctness, suitability, or validity of any information on this site and will not be liable for any errors, omissions, or delays in this information or any losses, injuries, or damages arising from its display or use. All information is provided on an as-is basis.
In a world where there's crime, violence, rape, murder, death, and all forms of atrocities that plague the world we live in today. What you're witnessing, we're living in a state of chaos, and it'll take a greater or much extremer chaos to restore the order in which we live in today. Hello everybody, this is Chaos here.
Tonight, it's going to be something that I feel I have to really talk about, or what's the word, go in a bit. But before we start off anything, I would like everybody to go to TalkRealSolutions.com. Under TalkRealSolutions.com, you'll see the 3-point plan for Black empowerment, Black achievement. And under the 3-point plan, you'll see a list of Black established banks located here in the United States of America. I think there might be 29 to maybe 30. Last time I checked, it could have been down one bank or two. But all that information is on the website. Also on T.R.S. Talk Real Solutions website, you also will see the latest articles, news that goes on throughout the world, especially here in America, all the news and latest things that's going on. Also, it also talks about, we have these discussions about the latest news on T.R.S. on Thursday's news, so tune into that. If you don't have the time to read all these articles, we'll go in and select some of the news articles that catch mostly the eyes of people. Also on Talk Real Solutions, there is also a donation where you could donate as little as $5 or less to the show. Contribute to keep the show, lights running and moving. message. Also, you can find this show and all other previous episodes on YouTube as well. So go type in Talk Real Solutions on YouTube, and you'll find all the latest, good stuff from the news, T.R.S. news, to everybody else's, discussions on Talk Real Solutions on YouTube. And also, I also got a channel as well, Chaos Reign. Subscribe to that. All shows here will be posted on my page on YouTube as well. And other things that I will be disclosing will be down the line, sometime end of this month, Well, other than that, let me go to my YouTube to see what's running before I go in on this. And mind you, this is a touchy subject. Very touchy subject. Something that, I've been listening lately. Been hearing. And, this is my thing in regards to, a lot of the males. Every male, but particularly in this section, when we're dealing with the black people, that there is a section where we call the black manosphere, which really is offshore to the white manosphere. Maybe a little different, but not too different, far-fetched. And this is something, there is a section where we call the black, that this is something that to really have a discussion about. So tonight's subject deals with the manosphere, or the manosphere. The call number for tonight's show is 712-770-4160. The access code is 915-411#. I repeat, 712-770-4160. Access code 915-411#. But before we start anything, we got to go through this revealing evidence of the definition of a manosphere. Now, y'all know enough popular people on the social media and the YouTube sector have been pushing and preaching a manosphere, particularly the black manosphere. And like me, like anybody else, I've been on this YouTube quote-unquote journey for years now. And when I came across certain people, not all, but just enough, and hear that there's a such thing as what we call a manosphere, which I didn't know what it was at the time, didn't make the time or effort to look it up or see what it is. I sit back and just listen, observe it from behind or from, a distance. But as we see time progress, in regards to a lot of males that keep using the word the manosphere, black manosphere, or whatever you want to call it, they have now took a shift and really deal with anything with manosphere altogether. And I never understand why they all of a sudden changed up. But they've been preaching this, pushing this for over 5 years, maybe 4. And most likely it's 4 years now. From y'all well-known people that does content on the YouTube space. So let's look at the definitions of this manosphere. And we're going to look through a lot of sources. Manosphere. The manosphere is a loose collection of predominant web-based misogynistic movement associated with the alt-right. The alt-right. Isn't that white supremacist nonsense they call alt-right? And then the black males have to sit there and use some offshore of the alt-right. Well, let's continue. The movement within the manosphere includes anti-feminist, father's rights, incel, involuntary celibacy, MGTOW, men going their own way, vocalists, voluntary celibate, pickup artists, and men's rights movement, bloggers, and commentaries, among others. Predominant websites and forums of the Manosphere, including T2, Heartis, Return of Kings, Forked Cane, and I think it's called Suti Late. I'm not pronouncing that right. And there's more. And, you know, while I'm going through this, I'm also going to go and look at these terms of what they call the pills. Y'all know those nice little drugs that y'all supposed to take for headaches or any pains and all that stuff, or if you have blood pressure issues, you got to take a medication, most likely it's in the form of a pill. You know, I'm also going to read those definitions of the pills from the black, the blue, the white, the red, depending on what pill I find on the net that's going to entertain this nonsense about you are these pills. But the terminologies. Manosphere is a neologism or neologism, part material, a man and a spear, a related term androsphere from ancient Greek gentive and man, first appeared on Blogspot in 2009. The term was eventually adopted by the men's rights activists MRA and journalists to describe a loose online network defined largely by misogynists and concepts of the red pill, or what we call misogynous. I think that's how they pronounce it. And a metaphor borrowed from the film The Matrix. A person who frequently online community associated with the Manosphere is sometimes called a Manospherians. The Manosphere has its own distinct jargon: red pill, blue pill. Imaginary is common, except the Manosphere ideology is equated with taking the red pill, and those who do not are seen as blue pillars or having taken the blue pill. A red pillar, a reptilier, is someone who has shifted from previous held mainstream or feminist persuasions towards those that are widely held with the Manosphere. They sometimes pejoratively, I think that's what they call it, refer to their detractors as blue pillars. The term alpha male and beta male are also commonly used. The content. The Manosphere comprise various online groups who promote certain forms of masculinity and are generally hostile to feminists. They include men's rights activists, pickup artists, and fathers' rights activists, among others. The Guardian columnist Eva Wiseman defines the Manosphere as a mix of men, pickup artists, male victim of abuse, fathers' rights opponent who come together online. Reddit is a popular gathering place for Manosphere supporters. Several forums on the site are geared towards the ideal. One of those is the Red Pillar Super Reddit, or subreddit. Has more than 200. That has almost 200,000 subscribers. Members of the incel community also frequently the Manosphere. Some analysts have described the Manosphere as the online version of the man cave. Social satisfaction is a common theme of discussion of the Manosphere website. Men at the bottom of social sexual hierarchies are sometimes referred to as the BAFC, below average frustrated chumps, and the PUA community. True Cell, an incel communist, or Omega male Manospherian in general, author Donna Zuckerberg writes that the growth of the movement and the more political tones adopted by some of the leaders as 2016 has led to more adverseful internal relationships such as between pickup artists and men's rights advocates. The ideology. The Manosphereans believe that feminists and political correctness obscure the feminist dominance of society, and that men are the victims of misandrous culture and must fight to protect their existence. Katine Dewey of the Washington Post argued that the ideology of the Manosphere can be reduced to feminists as over-corrupt modern culture and violations of nature, biology, inherent gender difference, and two, men can best seduce women / save society in general by embracing a super dominant, uber masculine gender role, forcing ladies to fall into steps behind them. The red pillar philosophy is a central tenet of the Manosphere, which concerns awakening men to be supposed misandrous and delusional of feminism. The term originated of the anti-feminist subreddit, the Red Pills, and was later taken up by the men's rights and the men going their own way, MGTOW sites. Zuckerberg writes, Red Pill represents a new phase in online misogyny. Its members not only mock and battle or belittle women, they also believe that in our society, men are oppressed by women. Zuckerberg linked the Manosphere with the neo-reactionaries, while white nationalism, alt-right movements made anti-right members are either pickup artists or MGTOW, while the policies of white female sexuality is a major concern on the alt-right. Many Manosphere views of sexual revolution of the 1960s in a negative light. And these are the sites which I did not know exist, but know now. And let me adjust my phone so I can make sure I hear myself good. All right, good. The Manosphere comprised various websites, blogs, and online forums concerning with masculinity and the men's issue. Note sites include the Red Pill Room, Voice of Men, Roosh V, website Return of Kings, as well as personal blogs and forums. Chatu Hartese, a blog written by James C. Widerman, known as Rozzy in D.C., was the early Manosphere pickup artist website begun in April of 2007 on WordPress. That's a period of 12 years. Zuckerberg describes Widerman as an open white nationalist. Widerman has argued that women economic freedom combined with racial miscegenation, immigration, and declined birth rate among white women threaten Western civilization. 1 second, guys. All right, let's continue. PUA Hate. PUA Hates was a website for men who felt they had been tricked by members of the pickup artist or seduction community who had promised to teach them from money how to get attractive women to have sex with them. PUA Hates criticized the scam, deception, and misleading marketing techniques used by dating gurus and the seduction community to deceive men and profit from them. The site complains that the seduction gurus' techniques did not work. No, duh, dummy. One PUA Hate user remarks, the modernization policy was very laissez-faire. There was racism definition of a lot of misogyny. Journalist Patrick Keene Note that the site had threatened such a "are ugly woman completely useless to society." Users would also ask each other questions such as what's your rape account? Oh, damn. These people are fucking crazy. Elliot Rogers, a pre-predator of the 2014 Laissez Visa killing, was active on PUA Hate, where he expressed confusion about how women could resist him. He wrote, "One day, incels will realize their true strength and numbers and will overthrow the oppression feminist system, starting envisioning a world where women fear you." In that manifesto, Rogers remarked that PUA Hate confirmed many of the theories I had about how wicked and degenerate women really are. Some of the PUA Hate users argued that the shooting were the fault of a woman who declined to have sex with Rogers. Damn. Oh, this is some serious stuff, man. The PUA Hate was listed by the Southern Poverty Law Center as a hate group. In 2014, PUA Hate was shut down. Later, Slut Hate was created, and many of PUA haters users migrate there. So let me check the chat room on YouTube right now, because okay, what the hell is Alquan talking about? Oh, this show is still on. I thought it was totally gone. No, Alquan. Probably do some shows on here. It probably will make a better difference. But let's continue, man. That's a distraction. And let me check the lines before I continue reading this. Okay, no one raised their hand. Good. So I continue reading. All right, Return of the Kings. Return of the Kings, ROK, is a blog written by the pickup artist T.R.S, Valibé, known online as Roche V. Valde was advocate for the traditional nuclear family and against socialism and same-sex marriage, while also writing how to guide for male sex tourism. Matthew Leon at Political Research Associate writes, Valde doesn't dwell on his own glaring inconsistency, but does suggest that dismantling of the patriarchal rule has forced men to pursue games as a defensive strategy. The actual size of the site following is difficult measures, but has been estimated to comprise a scattered readership throughout North America and Western Europe. ROK is distinct from men's rights forums, such as PUA Hate and the promotion seduction technique known as games. That those sites criticize ROK writers also criticize the pro-feminist men's movement and the Good Men Project, argue that they led the feminized, passive, weak men who are content to remain on the lowest rung of the social hierarchy. Return of the Kings has been described by the Southern Poverty Law Center as a male supremacist hate group. There's more. Public perception. The Manosphere has received significant coverage in the media from associating with high-profile incidents such as the 2014 Elise Visa killing in California and 2015 Ipique Community College shooting in Oregon, and the sustained online abuse towards female gamers that came to be known as Game Gates. Following the Lisa Visa shooting, many mainstream news sources report links between the killer Elliot Rogers and posts to the Manosphere forum about the pickup artist. Dewey writes that while the Manosphere was not to blame for Rogers' attack, Rogers' misogynist rhetoric seems undeniably influenced by the Manosphere. Many Manosphere commentaries strongly reject any attempt to blame the Manosphere for the killing, with one contender writing that his Roger is a perfect case of someone who needs the red pill, because it's somewhere he could come to vent and be angry and not have his pain be dismissed, ridiculed, or ignored. Then the socialist or socialistic Michael Kimmel argued it would be facile to argue the Manosphere. Urge Rogers to do this. I think those places are kind of a solace. They provide a kind of locker room, a place where guys can grope about all the bad things that are being done to them by women. In the days immediately following the shooting, other Manosphere sites, such as The Voice for Men, saw a huge increase in traffic. Mark Potok of the Southern Poverty Law Center, SPLC, said that the forums are filled with pure, unvarnished woman hatred and compare the Manosphere to white supremacist websites. The SPLC later added a caveat saying it should be mentioned that the SPLC did not label MRA as members of the hate movement, nor did our specific examples of misogyny and the threat, overt, or implications of violence. Wiseman writes that the commentary of the Manosphere blog often makes statements to the effects that women are designed solely for sex and sandwich making, and suggests that the ton of these websites create a culture that contributes to violence against women. Dewey said it excluded gays, lesbians, and transgenders. Oh, that's a good thing. And people. BBC television personal Reggie Yates made a document in Britain who take part in the Manosphere. Before I click on to Elliot Rogers. All right. Oh, shit. Let me go back. Okay. And that's the end of this section on Wikipedia. Where's Elliot Rogers? Where is he? I just clicked on it earlier. All right. Well, like I said before, it's funny how most of these dudes that label and offshore of the Manosphere that's really dealing with women, either they can get women or they can't get women, wherever the case may be, regardless of whatever the reason is, it shows a lack of character and, real testosterone that, a man should never operate out of scarcity. Like, there's not enough women out here. There's always some women for you, dudes. I don't think I complain too much about the women at all. And I'm not sure why people are. I'm looking here. Okay. Ed Rogers, they got his name here. I know he has some YouTube up there. I'll find it later. But this is my thing. If I continue on to the next one. That isn't it ironic that what I just read, and the current events that just happened, including incel, which I'll talk about in a second, that I can see a lot of men, ones that's well popular, the ones that's up and coming, or the ones that's going to be up and coming, that they are going to use different words and try to separate themselves off of anything they deal with a manosphere, whether white or black. And the reason is because they are labeled it through this definition as a hate thing. And when people go back and try to look at what is this, they're going to always look at through the smartphone and find the actual definition of what it is. And the history of it, and the few people that committed what we call murders on officers of the offshore of the Manosphere. That's why no man, especially the black ones, not going to really associate themselves with anything deal with a Manosphere. And come out and they now saying white is dead. It should be dead. My bitch should never been alive. If you a man, you can't get no coochie or, I'm sorry, man. If you can't get at least a decent woman, you have to get always the 10 or the top-notch woman. Get a decent chick, man. Look good, you know what I'm saying? She keep her body good, you know what I'm saying? She has good character. She don't have certain ways with her. you're good, my dude. I'm saying, do you? If you can't attract that, try again. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of, what they said, who's more the prize, the man or woman? I look at neither one as a prize if you can't attract what you want. I hear some women complain how they can't get the man that what they want. And when I look at them and I see how they move and operate, I will throw the question and say, what are you doing to really get the man of means to really gravitate to you, to cater to everything to you? You know what I'm saying? You don't want no kiss-ass man. You want a man that's going to, do the necessary things, to at least protect, provide something, whatever. Simple. Keep it simple. Because, as men, ladies, we keep it simple. I know you want to go far beyond, and then you're looking for this perfect certain person. Hell, I know one female said that, and this is a sister now, said that Jesus was her man. I look at her like she's crazy as hell. Jesus is what? Yo, man. Now, mind you, I could have been disrespectful and said, all right, so does Jesus, screw you at night? No. So how is Jesus going to be a man? No. So stop it. Get your head out your ass. Come back to reality. Matter of fact, I probably will say that that's one of the pills that these dudes be talking about. Yeah, that probably might be required for a lot of these people out of reality. You know what I'm saying? Take a couple of these so-called mysterious matrix-type pills and shove down your throat with some water to get you back in reality. But anyway, let's move on. Oh, and the call number for tonight's show is 712-770-4160. The access code is 915-411#. Tonight's subject, Chaos represents the Manosphere. My take of the Manosphere. All this nonsense. And it looks like the L.A. Rogers shooting happened a long time ago. This happened in 2014. All right. So let me go back. Let's look at what we call the incel. And then after this, I might check the lines and then deal with the pills and then, Okay, the incel. Incel, poor me true, or involuntary celibacy, are members of the online subculture who defines themselves as unable to find a romantic or sexual partner, despite desiring one, a state they describe as inceldom. Hold on a second. Okay. Discussions in incel forums are often characterized by resentment, misanthropy, self-pity, self-loathing, misandry, racism, and a sense of entitlement to sex, and the endorsement of violence against sexually active people. The American nonprofit Southern Poverty Law Center describes the subculture as part of the online male supremacist ecosystem that is included in their list of hate groups. The estimated and the overall size of the community vary greatly. They are considered mostly male and heterosexual, but sources disagree on the subject of ethnic makeup. At least 4 mass murders resulting in 45 deaths have been committed in North America by men who have either self-identified as incel or who had mentioned incel-related names and writing in their private writings or internet posting. Incel communities have been criticized by the media and research for being misogynistic, encouraging violence, spreading extremism views of rationalizing their members. Wow. And, the funny thing with the incel, I never asked a person last week on last week's stream about if they're an incel. I think this person said no, maybe. But, how he talks about certain things, about, MGTOW and all that stuff. But anyway, let's keep going. The first online community of the use of the term incel was stated in 1993 with a Canadian university student known only by her first name, Elaine, created a website in order to discuss her sexual inactivity with others. The website, titled Elaine Involuntary Celibacy Project, was used by people of all genders to share their thoughts and experience. In 1997, she started a mailing list on the topic that used a abbreviative NVCel, later shortened to incel. For any gender who was lonely and had never had sex, or who hadn't had a relationship in a long time during her college career, and after she realized she was queer and became more comfortable with her identity, she stopped participating in her online project around 2000 and gave the site to a stranger. When speaking about the website in 2018, Elaine said, "It definitely wasn't a bunch of guys blaming women for their problems. That's a pretty sad version of a phenomenon that happens today. Things have changed in the last 20 years." When she read about the 2014 Elisa Vista killing and the way part of the incel subculture glorifying the perpetrator Elliot Rogers, she wrote like a scientist who invented something that ended up being a weapon of war. "I can't invent the word, nor restrict it to the nicer people who need it." She expressed regrets at the change its usage from the original intent of creating an inclusive community for people of all genders who were sexually deprived due to social awkwardness, marginalization, or mental illness. She has since started a new project, Love Not Anger, which she described as a project to research how lonely people might find respectfully love instead of being stuck in anger. The message board LoveShy.com was founded in 2013 as a place for people who were perpetually rejected or extremely shy of potential partners to discuss their situation. It was less strictly moderate than the counterpart, Incel Supports, which was also founded in 2000. While Incel Support welcomes men and women and bans misogynistic posts, LoveShy.com user base was overwhelmed male and board was less strictly moderate over the next decade. The membership of a LoveShy.com and other online communities like 4chan began to increasingly overlap. The Incel subreddit form a website Reddit later became a particular active Incel community. The subreddit was known as a place where men blamed women for their involuntary celibacy, sometimes advocating for rape of other forms of violence, and were misogynistic and often racist. One post titled "General Questions About How Rapists Get Caught," and asked by a member pretending to be a woman, saying they want to know how a woman who was drugged and raped would begin finding her rapist. On October 25, 2017, Reddit announced a new policy that would ban content that encouraged glorified insults or call for violence or physical harm against an individual or a group of people, and banned the Incel subreddit on November 7, 2017. Under the new policy review, at the time of the ban, the community had around 40,000 members. Although the Incel subreddit was shut down, and the Incel community has continued to inhabit Reddit and various other subreddits. Incels came to wider public notice with the banning of incels and when a series of mass murders were committed by men who either self-identify as an incel or share similar ideologies. Increased interest in incel communities has been erupted to the field of aggravated entitlement by some men who feel they are being denied rights they deserve and blame women for their lack of sex. Incel communities have increasingly become more extremist and focused on violence in recent years. This has been attributed to various factors, including influence from overlapping online hate groups and the rise of the alt-right and the white supremacist groups. The misogynistic, sometimes violent rhetoric of some members of incel community has led to numerous bans from websites and web hosts. Incel communities continue to exist on more latent platforms such as Reddit, 4chan, and Vote. There are also incel forums and disprove of hatred and a dating website that caters to incels. Now, let me stop right here, because that's a lot. I'm not sure how much Reddit is worth right now on the net since it's been established. Let me see how long. Let me see the history of Reddit. Let me type that up. All right, let's see. Where's Reddit? I had to type it up. All right, so let me type it up. Okay, Reddit. Founded June 23rd, 2005. So this came out the same time Google came into existence, in regards to YouTube. So the time when Reddit came around, YouTube was being born, same year. It didn't come out till next year later, but it was born that year, surprisingly. Yeah. So Reddit is projected, been around for 14 years. But I've noticed with Reddit, and like all these other sites, that caters to these dudes that can't get no coochie or get some piece with a woman, is really telling. And it's telling to me that even when I find out with a lot of men, especially you find some of the black men today that complain a whole lot about women. Like, really, it's like ridiculous. It's like complaints. Like, I see broadcasts. And mind you, I did listen and sometimes be on some of these little panels too with a bunch of men. But now when I came across this information from another particular prominent author/YouTuber, I had to sit back and question a lot of things now. Especially now that they're labeling these behaviors, incels, MGTOW, Manosphere, whether white or black, and they never put black Manosphere because black Manosphere are offshoot of white Manosphere or the Manosphere, that these are a problem in the so-called communities here in the West, where a lot of these dudes, just like the European counterparts, they feel they're entitled to something. Not putting no work, not trying to, because, some men have to self-correct at the end of the day, but you have to put in some little time and effort to socialize. And I think this community today in the world, because we live in a digital world, we are being less socialized as a people collectively. So what is going to happen with the rise of the internet and computer, it only breeds these type of characteristics, these behaviors people are engaging right now. And creating these labels like the MGTOWs, the incels. I'm not sure how you are, man. You tell me you're involuntary celibate. If you even get some coochie from a woman, I don't know how you could be celibate. If you're not getting enough, you never had, a taste of woman in your life, then you can't be. This is just stupidness. Just really know this is nonsense, And it can be a problem down the line in time. Because if this community was once growing and they had to put things in place and they moved from one different site to the next site, it tells you this awkwardness and making these men more socially awkward or be able to, communicate or interact with the world can be a problem. I notice the women that I talk to, or they tell you themselves, when it comes to dudes that, because of the power of social media, they're not engaged in no conversation or, even to see them the first time face to face. Now it's with the internet, you seeing them now flashing their private parts to a lot of these females throughout the internet. And I think it's going to get them some coochie. I would say the word, I'm trying to keep it PG tonight. I'm not in the mood to really. Thanks, but this is where I see it's heading. Now, I'm not a young dude or old dude, but just through life, experience in life, and understanding people a little bit, I could see where people's behaviors are heading because of the power of technology. And because people are being less sociable, even to the point where a lot of dudes, they come across other dudes telling us, say, women are trying to con them for their money and for food. I mean, that might be true. But the problem is, like, Eddie, man, you guys still conduct yourselves, man. You know what I'm saying? You guys shoot your shot, Because women that do that, it ain't going to last long. You get me? And me and Lamb talked about this offline sometimes about the direction of women. So, as a man, for any of y'all young men moving forward that's over the age 18, you have to know this, that with anything you do in life, whether you're trying to better yourself physically, financially, or trying to get the lady, you always have to stay humble and keep to yourself and do the best you can. Do the best thing you can possible. And you might have to put in that little work here and there, Because the ladies are going to still act the way they are. They're not going to change. You know what I'm saying? Enough dudes have confirmed and understands. So the only thing we as any man could do now is to stay on your path, your course, and try not always self-improve, but better yourself. You know what I'm saying? And, also better yourself socially. We got, as men, because we're more sitting down prone and on computers, we have to interact more with the world. We have to walk, talk to people, you know what I'm saying? It won't hurt. They won't bite you. I think the society is making people more digitized, to be more and more antisocial as time progresses. I don't like this direction. There was one point men and women used to talk to each other on the phone or whatever. Now it's only a short conversation, an email, and a text message. Hey, I know some people end a relationship on a text message. I mean, it's some backwards shit going on, but this is the world we live in today. So let me continue on reading. And I will soon check the lines in a second. Okay. Okay, the ideology. Many incel communities are characterized as resentment, self-pity, racism, misogynic, misanthrope, and narcissism. Discussions often revolve around the belief that men are owed sex. No, you are not owed sex. You know what I'm saying? Other common topics include idolism, loneliness, unhappiness, suicide, sexual surrogate, prostitution, and acquisition of sex robots. Now, if y'all remember, the year before, or was it 2017, if I can remember, there was something that was busting out about sex bots, and a lot of people got in their feelings, especially the ladies and whoever, making fun. But because of the way how the direction people are at mentally and how they can't even associate or conversate with the opposite sex, this is where they're pushing people now to be more artificial, to be more, what do you call it, machinery. Where, you know, a lot of these females nowadays, they are using sex toys already. So the next stage, because of someone that can't get the man they want, they go and probably have the money means buy a sex bot, an actual bot of a man with a phallus. Same thing with these dudes, where they're going to actually have a sex bot of a female with a vagina. It's some sick shit. As well as various attributes, they believe increasingly one desirability as a partner, such as income and personality. opposition and feminism and women's rights is commonplace. Some posters blame women's liberation for their inability to find a partner. Anti-Semitic beliefs as also regard found on incel forums, with some posters going so far as to blame the rise of feminism on a pilot mastermind by Jewish and weekend of the West. Some endorse suicide among incels, violence against sexual active women, and more sexually successful men, and harassment of women, including activities such as catfishing. A subgroup of incels who frequently websites run by Nathan Larson and Pamela political candidates and active participants in the incel community work deliberately to convince other incels that they are justified in raping women if they are rejected sexually. In some communities, it is common for posts to glorify violence by self-identified incels such as Elliot Rogers, pre-predatory of the 2014 Lisa Visa killings, and Alex Monasian, a Malaysian, and 2018 Toronto van attack suspect, as well as by those they believe share their ideology, such as Mark Lepine in 1989, Ecloid Polytechnic Massacre, sexual Hon Chin 2007 Virginia Tech shooting, and George Sardine, 2009 Collar Township shooting. Roger is the most frequent reference, with incels often referred to him as their saint and shared names, in which his face has been superimposed onto painting of Christian icons. Some incels consider him to be a true progenitor of today's online incel community. Many incels justify their prejudice using interpretation taken from concepts such as biological determinism and evolutionary psychology. Other concepts that incels may believe in, including female hypergamy. We all heard about the hypergamy nonsense. And the 80-20 rule, an application of the Pareto principles, which suggests that 80% of women desire the top 20% of most attractive men among non-whites, and just by whites, JBW theory, which suggests that Caucasian face and the fewest obstacles when dating. Incels also believe that single people seek a partner participating in a cruel, mercenary, and Darwinian sexual selection, wherein incels are genetically until and where women hold an advantage for reasoning ranging from feminism to the use of cosmetics. Incels may attribute their lack of sexual success to facts such as shyness, sex segregation, work environment, negative body image, penis size, or their physical appearance, and commonly believe that the only thing more important than looks in improving a man's eligibility is a prospective partner in wealth. Some incels justify their belief based on the works of French social psychologist Brian Gumerenton and clinical psychologist Jordan Peterson. Incel communities are a part of the broader Manosphere. According to New York Times, involuntary celibacy is an adaptation of the idea of male supremacy. The Southern Poverty Law Center describes the subculture as part of the online male supremacist ecosystem, which they began including in their list of hate groups in 2018. The New York Times wrote that the group has evolved into a male supremacist movement made up by people some celibate, some riot, or some not, who believe that women should be threatened as sexual objects with few rights or treated. Incel communities sometimes overlap with topics such as men going their own way, the MGTOW movement, as we know, men rights activists, vlogs by people who believe they are experiencing true force, loneliness, TFL, and pickup artists, although at least one male incel website has expressed hatred for pickup artists and accused pickup artists and dating coaches as financially exploiting incels. Well, what do you expect? If you can't get no booty and you go and spend money on an artist to tell you how to con women or tell women whatever you want to get in their pants, what do you expect? I mean, one thing I give credit to the pickup artists, they at least they'll train you to lie to get some coochie. Now, some of them will keep real and tell you, say you must keep it real with a lot of women. But obviously, if you keep it real with women right back that you only here for sex, they're going to get their ass and walk out. Most likely, if you pay for the food and they tell you that, after you pay for the food and you about to go back to the place, she's going to say, oh, no, I'm not interested. Go ahead. Unless you're going to take it by force, which is a federal crime, which most likely you hear mostly non-black men do this. You know, it's a problem. But like I said before, the pickup artist is only there for one reason, to take your money. You don't care if that shit works or not. You pay what you get for. Simple as that. Now, before I get to the pills, I'm just going to look. No, I will not take no calls right now. Okay. Black pill. The black pill is a set of beliefs that, and mind you, when I go through this, I'm going to go through another dictionary dealing with the pills. The belief that a common held amongst members of incel communities such as biological determinism, fatalism, and defeatism of the unattractive people. Someone who believes in the black pill is referred to as a black pillar or black pill. The black pill has been described by Vox, corresponded by Zach Beechkemp, as a profound sexist ideology that amounts to a fundamental rejection of women. Sexual emancipation, labeling women shadow, cruel creatures who will choose only the most attractive men if given the choice. The concept of the black pill distinguished incel from the men's rights movement and the popular reference to the red pill, an allusion of the dilemma in the movie The Matrix, where the protagonist must choose to remain in the world of illusions, taking the blue pill, or see the world as reality, taking the red pill. In the context of men's rights activism, taking the red pill means seeing the world where women hold power over men. The black pill, on the other hand, refers to hopelessness. It also holds that one person is not very important. The term black pill was the first popularized on the blog Omega Virgin Revolt, which I never heard before, were the terms commended by despondency in order to distinguish incels from the pickup artists community. On the incel subreddit and the brain cell, black pills, are memes usually imagine that users stare to describe a user thought, many of which criticize women as egocentric, cruel, and shallow. Although the tones of Super Red is similar, moderated of the form, saying that they do not endorse, support, or glorify violence or violent people, a distinction they make from subject matters of its predecessors. Incels that result in the being banned from Reddit. And mind you, from previous reading of the articles, they say they ban it, but Reddit is a big platform in itself. And regardless of how they operate moving forward, they already create the atmosphere, the environment for a lot of these people to vent their shortcomings when it comes to the opposite sex. So let's go down. And there's more of this. Oh, matter of fact, the demographics. The self-identified incel are mostly male and heterosexual. This is demographics now. And are often described as young and friendless, introverts. Estimate on the size of incel communities vary and range from the thousands to 10,000 or hundreds of thousands. And we could say, for the best sake of conversation, we could say millions now, because since this rise of incel with the power of the internet, computers, all that stuff, antisocial behaviors, I would project it's in the millions now. So during the writing of this particular blog or article, we have to double that, times that. You get me? Sources disagree on ethnic makeup of participating in online incel group. Sociologist Russ Hurton was quoted in the Washington Post, described them as primarily white. Heidi Brich and the Southern Poverty Law Center echoes in the NBC News saying they are young, frustrated white males. Get it? Say white males like that. Say other race and males, colors, saying white males. In their late teens into their early 20s who are having a hard time adjusting to adulthood. Journalist Ashad Mann told NPR that incels were not just limited to young white men, adding that there are men of all ethnicity who are involved in this subculture. This is true because we know we have some people that are non-white that are incels in this so-called twisted community through social media and throughout these web blogs like Reddit. Jackie and colleagues published the Journal of Language, Aggression, and Conflict of the forum Incel Me, contends that there was no defined evidence for the group being predominantly white. So they say. Contrary to what is often reported, and that is a result of their logistic analysis indicating treatments of racism that reflect some levels of ethnic diversity. Some media outlets depict them as unemployed, living with parents, mainly in the United States, obviously, although there are also incel communities for people outside the Anglosphere. And that's a new word. I'm not sure if I want to look what that is. Nah, I'll leave it on. Such as the Italian website in the form of Del Brute. I think that's how they pronounce it. It's Italian. The first incel website, a lame involuntary celibacy project, was gender exclusive. There are also women-specific forms such as Femicel. Well, to be honest with you, I know some women that say they're celibate. Same thing like the incel. And, this is my thing with the celibacy and the incel. Two different things, maybe. That, okay, you got your heart broke. Okay, I get you. Normally you take a little break, you put yourself back in that market, and you go again. Keep it simple. Life moves on. It's hard for me to find a person that does it to be celibate for more than an average 2 to 3 years. Surprised if I find somebody that's celibate for 5 years. It tells me that you need some serious help. You need to go spend, if you got money and you work a good job, I advise to go pay that shrink. Now, I'm not sure what the rate is nowadays for a lot of these psychologists to sit down and you talk to them. But wherever they're paid, they do an hour. I advise you take a week. Or better, you see them at least once or twice in a week, if you can afford it. If you can't afford it, your money doesn't go long, then I advise every month you put some money to the side. Now, listen to me good, people. Listen to that. I'm going to drop some game. If you make a certain amount of money, let's say if you're a part-time worker, and you're making more than $250 a week or less than that, you take, especially if you live in at home or you live on your own, you do this. Listen good. You divide what you spend that you don't spend on a weekday time. You cut that in half, and you put that money in the side. Remember, you open a new account. Put that money to the side, right? And you see how nice that jump piles up. In 1 month, see how much you gross. If you gross enough to pay for 1 hour session with a shrink or a psychologist, you take that money and you give it to him. Give it to him or her. And you spend your time, sit down, air out your problems. Make a schedule. Do this. I advise. Do it. I recommend you do it. It's for your sanity, for your health, mentally. You do that. If you've been celibate for over 2 years. Let's continue. And the forever alone women, nonetheless, there is a disagreement in online incel communities on whether women can be incel, with some claims that the male incel grossly outnumbers female incel. Other claims that it's imposed or impossible for the women to be incel. Other claims that only women with a physical deformity can be incel. That's a lie. I know someone right now that's engaged in incel right now that has not been dating and screwing for more than a year. So where I wrote this, that's telling some much BS. And other arguments that only unattractive women belong to the bottom percentile in terms of appearance can be incel. The incel subculture includes people who are sexless, marriage, or other sexless relationships, but who wish to be sexually active, asexual people, and those who are voluntary sexual absence are not considered incel. And the mental health, I'm not going to read because I gave a suggestion and solution for that. And there's mass murders of violence, criticism. Let me check the lines. All right, no one's raised their hand, so I continue. All right. And I'm going to go to the pills. So let's look at the criticism of the incel. The incel community has been widely criticized in the media and by research as violent, misogynist, and extremist. Keegan Henke, a senior research analyst worked for the Southern Poverty Law Center, has cautioned that exposure to violent content on incel forums plays a large role in the rationalization of incels and described violent posts on the forum as more than I'm using to seeing of even white supremacist sites. Journalist Dave Fertel has described incel communities as violently misogynist and is among critics who attribute worsens violent rhetoric on incel forums to the growth of the alt-right and white supremacists and the overlapping between incel communities and online hate groups. Senior research fellow, Institution of Strategist Dialogue, Amari Amargasaki, or Amar Shargaman, has criticized some incel communities where call for violence are commonplace, saying under the right set of psychological and personal circumstances, these kinds of forms can be dangerous and push people into violence. Another research at the ISD, Jacob Davey, compared the rationalization of incels and incel forums and teenagers being urged to go extreme measures on online forums that promote anorexia and other eating disorders. Anorexia, I think. And the online campaign convinced people to join ISIL, speak about incel feelings of entitlement of sex. Davey said attitude can go as far as the justification of rape. Journalist Zach Beechchamp has expressed concern about the other types of harmful influx of incel that may be lost in the attention paid specifically to mass violence. He pointed to forums posted in which users brag about yelling at catfishing, sexual assaults, women. University of Portsmouth lecturers Lisa Surge and described incel forum as a network misogynist and urged the posts in such forums be taken seriously, not only to the context of hate speech, but also as a form of group grooming that they could rationalize, impassionate, and the verbal delusion young men. Socializing research of incel communities has analyzed them as a hybrid masculinity, a big hybrid, not even real masculine, it's like some other creative form, in which privileged men distance themselves from hegemonic masculinity, while simultaneously reproducing it. Criticism has also been directed against platforms that host or have hosted incel content, including Reddit, who banned the incel community in 2017, but has declined to ban another incel subreddit. The Twitter, Cloudflare, which provides service including DDoS protection and coaching so that web pages are still accessible when a site is offline, and has also been criticized for protecting incel websites against downtimes, even when web hosts have terminated service. Reports of incels by media outlets followed the incel-related attacks during 2010 has been criticized for its breathless coverage normalizing incel communities by describing them as sexually frustrated and direct readers to incel communities. Some reports have also been criticized for giving attackers notoriety by reporting on them at length, or for victims blaming by implementing the women peer and reject attackers has some responsibility for providing the attacks. And that ends this article piece. And we'll go to the pills now. I already read one section from this section on black pill, but we're going to go into the Urban Dictionary. And before I go into Urban Dictionary, the call number for tonight's show is 712-770-4160, access code 915-411#. I repeat, 712-770-4160. The access code is 915-411#. Tonight's subject, Chaos represents the Manosphere. Black pill, Urban Dictionary. A catastrophic prophecy, a spiritless prophecy for the future that is not necessarily grounded in reality. A red pill gone hopeless, bleak. And their sentence, which I'm not going to read. And when somebody refuses a red pill, you must force it upon them by having sexual intercourse with their girlfriend or a sister. This is also another definition or another take on black pill. We go down. That's it. Let's look at red pill. Oh, shouldn't do that. All right, let me see this. There's also black pill. Let me see what that says. All right. There's nothing on the black pill. So let's go to red pill. Okay, red pill. This is your last chance. After this, there is no turning back. Take the blue pill. The story ends. Oh, wake up, believe. Okay, that's some deal with the Matrix. The red pill has become a popular phrase amongst cyber cultures, a significant free-thinking attitude, and a walk up from a normal life and slot of ignorance. Red pill prefers the truth no matter how gritty and painful it may be. And it says, to open someone's eyes and mind to the secret truth of something important. And it still refers to the Matrix. All right. Let's look at the blue pill. The blue pill, taking the easy way out, choosing to ignore the harsh realities and live in blissful ignorance. Makes sense? You take the blue pill and the story ends and you wake up to your bed believing whatever you want to believe. The blue pill, someone who chooses to remain ignorant in order to be happy, much like those who choose die blue pill in the Matrix. Okay. Let's look at the white pill. The white pill of being aware of difficult situations or positions of having a fight can do attitude and not give up, plus accomplishing said things within the difficult situation. Sorry about that. Hold on. Okay. Belonging optimism, not merely through gut feeling, but viva having thought about situations enough to understand how to get through it successfully. White pill, the complete opposite of the black pill. Whoever takes the black pill means that you have a pessimistic view about life and you feel like it's meaningful or meaningless and it all leads to suffering. Taking the white pill means that you start to actually see the world for what it is. Yeah, there is a lot of suffering. Yeah, bad stuff will happen, but that's just part of life. Take that white pill, man. Me accepting these things and understand that there is more to life than the bad stuff. As a civilization, we have been accomplished so much. We are species that rule the world. We invent things that will give you an immeasurable amount of pleasure. Movies, video games, delicious food, music, competitors, we have achieved a lot. And so what if there is a God? And so that there is the meaning of life. That's just give you more freedom to have freedom and choose your own meaning. Bad times will come and go. And you will, good ones, mostly life be neutral. But if you take the white pill, you can find pleasure in the mundane. Just keep doing what you like and balance that with things that you probably don't like doing but are necessary. You're going to make it. We all going to make it. That's the white pill. Now let's look at the pink pill. Oh. Okay, that shit don't exist. Let's go back. Let's look at the green pill. Green pill. Taking the green pill is when you become woke to the climate change. Disaster unfolds all around us in the world, and you realize it really is bad. It usually happens when you start a bite of research or a bit of research into some of the weird weathers that have been happening lately. I got green pill by reading too much articles about the weather on collapse. When that girl went on school strike about climate change, more people tasted the green pill. My God. Let's look at the pink pill. Pill, all the major drug companies are trying to either develop, get approved, and boost female libido. Oh, this is not no reality pill. This is not no matrix pill. This is deal with ladies and their vagina. I don't want to look at that crap. Let's go back. All right, green pill, yellow pill. The yellow pill, a pre-coated 10 milligram because the yellow and a pill can also be anti-anxiety pills known as, oh gosh, Xanax and not antidepressant. Let me go back. All right, one last pill I'm gonna look at. I'm gonna end this. The purple pill. It didn't pop up. Let me do that again. Let me go to orange pill. Oh, it don't exist. And that's the end of all these so-called taste the rainbow type, Skittles type pills. I swear to God, people are something else when they talk about red, blue, black, white, green, yellow pills. My advice to most people that wants to engage in drug use, stop. Don't do it. Please don't. All right, let me check my YouTube. Oh, what's up, T.R.S? You got to call in, man. Yeah, you got to call in, T.R.S, real. Yeah, I'll be waiting for somebody to call. Yeah, but that's it with the pills and this, my point about this Manosphere nonsense. Overall, this is my take on all of it. It's garbage. It's nonsense. The only reason why a lot of men now are drawing away from it because your so-called good old oppressor, or what they call the European man, the one that dominates or is still in control as we speak, sets the rules and sets the laws in front of you and puts out the propaganda to tell you what is good and what's bad. The one thing I would say I'm very disappointed in a lot of these dudes that recreate the will in regards to these labels of not dealing with the manosphere, but create some other, like the black manosphere or any of these type of manospheres. That, and this is in general, anytime you have anybody put out any information about your movement, your groups, and you don't bust back at them, it's telling. It's very much telling today. It seemed to me with most of our brothers to show the lack of organization. Let's say black man creates another offshore of a different form of manosphere. Let's not be black, but something different. Call it different. You better be organized with a front of other like-minded men to sit here, defend your thing. And I mean defend, I'm saying you must sit there, protect it. You can have no type of entity, whether non-black people, white, Asian, whatever you want to call them, put up any other form of propaganda on your movement telling that you're misogynist, you're evil, all that stuff. Because the minute they do that and you do not fight back, which usually normally when you fight back, it doesn't always deal with a physical. You got to deal with paperwork. You might have to start slapping with lawsuits. Do something. That's what I'm saying, you must fight back. Don't have them put out no information out there telling what your movement is and all that stuff and then blow it off like it's nothing. Because to me, when I see it, it tells me you're not organized. You did is create some labels and have a few people agree on it and say this is a movement. No, you dummy. You got to be organized. You got to set rules in place. You got to be so organized to a point where at times anybody that speaks on it, you're able to fight back properly. That's my thing. And I remember me and a friend were conversating about this, about how serious a lot of black men in regards to creating these new movements. And you have people like the website creating and telling what the definition of what it is. The only thing they don't have a definition right now, and I could be wrong, I'll double check next time, is they never put out anything about the black manosphere. But they put out the white manosphere, a.k.a. the manosphere itself, what it is. Which really black manosphere is no different from the white manosphere, a.k.a. the manosphere itself, as a whole. So that's my thing. Anytime you create some brothers, make sure you defend it, protect it, and sue them. So they don't put up no false propaganda so they can put you as a hate speech. Then it becomes criminal. Then you got to sit there, readjust, rethink what you're doing, and then have to create something new. No, you're not doing that. If you're organized in your stuff, you don't have to do that. You stand on your square game. Anytime any publication put out some misinformation and tell you what your movement is, automatically that is a declaration of war, and you should be slapped with some lawsuits. You feel me? All right. So now, let me see if anybody calling and raise their damn hand. Nope, no one raised their hand. Let me see what time it is. I've been out here for more than this. All right, I should might just end this in a few minutes. I said enough. I think I proved my point. Okay. All right. There's nothing much in the chat room right now. What other things I could say on here? Oh, I noticed that Jay-Z made a deal with the NFL in regards to something. And they said that he kind of betrayed Kaepernick. I'm not sure if I'm right. But this is my thing, like I've been saying to y'all for some time now, since I've been doing these streams, and I don't focus on this enough. I don't waste time on it. Because we have bigger things to do and more precious times with our time. And as a situation as a collective, to really focus on celebrities that don't put no money in your pocket or food on your table, much as food or money to contribute back to the community we reside. to sit there and know what other people, so-called people that are multi-millionaires or maybe potentially billionaires, to sit there and make moves to change the certain outcomes of situations that people were protesting and fighting, especially with the NFL for almost, was it 2 years now? And everybody in the chat room could tell me how long the cabinet situation that these players have been fighting in the NFL. Can anybody give me that answer in the chat room? How long has this thing been going on? 2 years now or been a year? I think it was going on over 2 years. I could be wrong. This cabinet took that knee. It's been going on for a while now. And now to find that we're going to step into a new season in the NFL where it looks to me that they kind of squashed this little protest and everything died down and get back to making money as usual. And that's the reason why they made that move for to get Jay-Z in here. Thank you. So that's now 3 years. Wow. So we're in the third year in the month of August. They find a way to now squash it and get back to business as usual. Attacks, if you want, you can call into the show. The call number is 712-770-4160. The access code is 915-411#. I repeat, 712-770-4160. Access code 915-411#. It's been like 3 years now since he did this. And what is it really he has to show for it, or any player? Yes, it drew attention about the races of NFL, but we all know America has been founded and structured by racism, right? So the little resistance that these players are doing, and not much, but one player particularly, I don't see other players, they start to get on the bandwagon for the last year, but they're not really doing nothing right now, in regards to really push anything significant in the NFL. That's why when they signed Jay-Z, that was just a chess move just to get y'all Negroes to shut up. That's how I see it. Yeah. AOS is white supremacist movement. Who's this dude? Jalene Legendary Truth. I'm not sure who that is. Yeah. So this has been going on for quite some time now. And now that it died down now because of this move. And I tell you it died down because that's how these people moved. While we play checkers, they play chess. And I recommend every young boy over the age of 10 to learn how to play chess. And the reason I'm telling you should play chess because it helps improve your decision making. It helps you strategize. It helps you how to cognitive think through a chessboard, mind you. I think one time I messed with chess it was a couple years ago. Actually, it was a decade ago. It was a long time ago when I messed around with chess. But the point is this, that every boy should learn how to play chess. Understand it, master it, so you can start to develop your cognitive skills so you know how to think critically, how to move. Because when you play amongst bigger players or people that's in business or stuff, that's how they operate towards other people because they know how to play on the chessboard. We just never got it yet because we're not making an emphasis to learn, think critically, how to move and strategize. That's all. I see somebody gave yeah, I know this message is not really nice, to be honest with y'all. And talking about it. And to the one person that put thumbs down, I think I know who that is. Well, I might guess who that is. Because you fell under to the same labels that the same system that labels you what you are. Either you're a so-called Manosphere, Black Manosphere, or an incel, one or the other. You fall under those three categories. Which really, the Black Manosphere is the same thing as the White Manosphere, but that's another story. Yeah, you gave thumbs down because you fought around that, and I have no really answer for that. Okay. All right. So this is what I'm gonna do because I said enough and I'm already past my time. I will end tonight's session. Hold on a second before I end it. Wait. I think I see some calls. Who's this?
Yes. Hello.
Yes. Who's this?
Hey, what's happening, Gary? It's ABC.
All right, stay right there. I'm taking open the next line. Who's this? Open another line.
What's up, man? What's up, Gary? I just want to comment on the Jay-Z thing real quick. And get the hell off of here.
This who?
I just wanted to comment on the Jay-Z thing real quick. And
oh, is this Allfax?
Yeah.
Before you comment, let ABC open this line first. Chill for a second.
Oh, yeah, no problem.
ABC, what's up? What's on your mind?
What's happening, man? I called in because nobody had called in. I thought I'd just comment about that Manosphere stuff. I missed the first part. Because
you're OG. You would know because you don't have these problems. So give us your take.
Yeah, I think you might be aware of this, but my take is those guys are a bunch of weak punks. I can't tolerate men complaining about women, complaining about life and all shit. We have issues like everybody else, and I can understand us having some discussion on it sometime, but the idea of a manosphere, a group of men, and hey, this is about us men, and we need to do what we can for the men, and people are against us. That shit sounds weak as hell, man. I don't know what you were saying about it. I think you're against it, right?
Well, what time you tuned in? Like an hour ago? I started.
No, actually, like 15 or 20 minutes ago.
Okay. Well, I'm not going to sum up because you had to go back to playback before I deal with any of the readings, but I'll say this. I had to look at the whole thing, whether they label it Manosphere, Black Manosphere, pills. I look at the end of the day as foolishness, and it don't stand on nothing because anytime when somebody, with propaganda, they give it a label. Once they label it, when people go back and find what they talk about and they find what it is, all they do is look through their smartphone and find the definition of what it is. And trust me, ABC, no person will want to be labeled any of this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You get me?
I get you.
Who's that guy named? Mr. Curry? He said he was walked out of it. I never understand why until he pulled it up. And I'm thinking, it's been recently a lot of these cats throughout social media and the YouTube world been saying that this thing was dead. Well, I could see why they say it's dead because now it's labeled as a negative terminology for the same people that they say they fighting back. If they're allegedly fighting back, they label it. Instead of fighting back the propaganda, they say, "Oh, we're just dead. We're just gonna create another one." Now, tell me, does that stand on anything? ABC?
No, I don't get that at all. I don't know.
But I know you don't get it all. But let's say, all right, you create a new movement, right? Like we have this ADOS movement, right?
Right.
Now, nobody labeled ADOS. I could be wrong as a terrorist organization yet. I don't know. I could be wrong. I ain't really keep up on it. Well, let's say they did, right? And they put out propaganda with the media, articles, definitions, and people look at it, right? You might say what it is to one person in front of you, but they go and look through their computer and smartphone and see something else. Who are they going to take the word at the end of the day? Your word or what they found through, other sources?
Yeah, they're going to take the mass media's definition of it, whatever the media is saying.
And this is my argument. With anybody that create any move, you have to fight back because propaganda is the most dangerous tool. It's the first tool of warfare. Well, any physicality. You get me? And a lot of them have not been able to fight back. So that's why when I even talk about on this stream, it can be a problem. As a matter of fact, I probably get some hate right now from just doing it right now. I got one little, unlike a thumbs down. That's why he's mentioning it. You get me? Isn't that something that most men are not comfortable hearing this? You might not talk about your stream a lot, but when I mention it for the first time, it's a problem because it shows how organized men are. And when we talk about us as men, we're not that organized. You know what I'm saying? But I'm going to start. That's how I see it.
Well, I just, the only thing I would add to all of that is, I've had this discussion with Big J before, and basically he says what I take from what he was saying to me was that I don't really understand it. And maybe that's true, but basically it just seems like these guys, number one, why did you have to create a group? And it's like MGTOW and all this other stuff. It's like, what are these men whining? I mean, you're men. You ain't supposed to be whining about shit. You're supposed to be out there doing shit and taking shit, and
at least.
And some stuff you just blow off.
Make us, because think about it, if we really talk about we men, right? We're supposed to make the change that's needed. We're supposed to impose that sense of environment. If we didn't like it, we change, right? We're not. You see, one thing, and a good friend, I agree. Right now, a lot of men or males today have been nesting like women in this environment. They're not really doing much to impose it, to make the change, but sit back and watch while real men make the change for them, and which they don't like. Posing new laws, doing these things, hell, posing even men, especially brothers, as terrorists. Those are things that, we could have bucked back on, but because we like to sit back in silence and then want to go around it, it shows who really is the big boss and who really is got balls, And they know this. They watch the how we move, how people move, especially our men, and they say, all right, let me see if I can apply a little pressure, see how you react. And a lot of people fold under the pressure. ABC, bad. That's not manhood.
Right.
You're not, as a man, you're not supposed to any pressure. You know what I'm saying?
Right. My thing is just focus on doing you and have a plan and strategy for how you're going to push forward. And then with the haters and the different things that come at you, you just deal with it as you need to. But complaining and bitching and moaning about, that shit sounds weak as hell. But I know All Facts is trying to get in there. I'll back out.
All right, All Facts, what's on your mind? I know you didn't listen to much of the show. I'm not sure, but go ahead. What do you got to say?
Well, I definitely wanted to comment on the Jay-Z, because I came in and you were talking about Jay-Z's situation. I wanted to comment on that, but to respect your show, I want to kind of talk about your topic.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not familiar with this group, but I'm not in. I don't know what the group is about, but just listening to you guys just a few minutes ago, it's political. Some men don't talk politics. They're political. And yeah, you can call it whining. I agree with ABC. But unfortunately, men whine in their own special way. I'm not going to say that they're not men, but, they have their own group, and this is the country that we live in. This is, hey, you can start your own group and your own message and come up with a word and define the word and start going pros and cons around that word, around that topic, and build a platform off of one word and an idea off of one word. So, they got a right to do what you got to do. You have a right to disagree with them. So that's the world we live in, YouTube world. But I want to say this, and I'll fall back. I heard your comments, and I said this last night when I was on. Calling Jay-Z as a set-out is something that's amazing. And I asked everyone who thinks Jay-Z sold out, I asked him this question. I ask you this question. If Kaepernick would have won a starting quarterback job in the NFL, right, if he would have played, would you have considered him a sellout?
That's a question asking me.
Yes. I'm asking you. Yes.
Well,
because he was protesting, and he still wanted to play football though. He was protesting, and then when he got out, he still was trying to get a job and play and things of that nature. So if someone would have hired him, even people was protesting, and he would have played for the NFL, would you consider Kaepernick a sellout?
Because he's not playing back in the NFL, should I consider him a sellout?
No. If he would have, okay, if Kaepernick would have played football again in the NFL, would you consider him a sellout? That's a question.
Oh, that's a good question. If he was protesting and he was able to get what he want and play back as a either starting or backup quarterback for the NFL, that's a hard question because depending on what he protests because of the racism, right? The killing black men. That was the whole premise back in 2016, right? Now that if let's say they hire him back, the only thing I would say is, did he get what was needed? Because that was the whole purpose of the protest, just to bring a light of the killing of unarmed black men. If not, and the NFL just sit there, ignore it, and he plays, then I would say he's selling out.
Oh, he's selling out. So okay. So stipulations for you, but see what I'm saying is, the gold. To each his own with the boycott, but I guess you're gonna stop. Watch the numbers drop across the country. I don't know if it dropped or anything. But what I'm saying is, he said totally stop. That's never gonna totally be. Cops are always gonna shoot unarmed black men. It's gonna happen once or twice. Hope you can get it down one per year, but it's always gonna happen. So you're never gonna be able to end it. But that's okay. I'm just saying. I asked you that question to say this. If Kaepernick would have got a job, I wouldn't consider him a sellout. I wouldn't. And he was fighting for his job. Okay? I wouldn't consider him a sellout. Therefore, I don't consider Jay-Z a sellout. Because Jay-Z is willing to deal, and he make a deal, and he's playing with the NFL as a majority owner of a team. The first black owner of the NFL team. Why people say he sold out?
Anybody emphasize?
Well, they don't. No one knows yet. But he will be a majority owner of the NFL team.
He said that's just rumor. There's no.
He will be. He made the deal was made. He will be a majority owner of the NFL team. He will be a majority owner.
He's able.
51% or more.
He's a billionaire.
51% or more. 51% or more. 51% or more. And and then now basically. And now this is the thing. The NFL is doing it so black people can start watching the NFL again. That's why they got Jay-Z. So what? He's in. Why people were worrying about the why they did it? Oh, they just did it for this. Well, if that's what they want to do, they want to try to get the image on and get young black people. Jay-Z is the owner of the NFL, and everything is cool. We got a black guy in. See, we got a black owner. That's success. That's success. And if Kaepernick kneeling his knee led up to Jay-Z, or first black NFL owner, that's success. So, it depends on how people look at it. I think people are just hating on Jay-Z. And I said this, and I'll fall back. He's in that position the way he is because of his wife, too. His wife gives him an okay image throughout this. I'm not saying that he's not a self-made man, but I'm saying him having married to Beyonce is a help to him. I'm trying to tell you. Of his image and all that type of shit. It helps him out.
Okay.
So I wouldn't think he would probably be a billionaire as fast if he wasn't married to her. So you got to give his wife some credit for that for that $1 billion or more he has. You have to give him some credit. You got to give her some credit too. So that's all I gotta say, man. So stop hating on Jay-Z.
This is offense before you go. They work
all right,
well
man, it's all right.
as a couple at the end of the day, and see where Jay-Z as a man, obviously he would not got there without, this union with Beyonce, this marriage. I'm saying they help each other out. I'm saying now
I know.
So, but my thing after all this, he rumored that was the reason why he was signed to the NFL because so that he could potentially own a team, but they have not confirmed what team. And see, this is my problem with a lot of people.
Doesn't matter. It's going to happen though. But I'm sorry, good. I apologize for cutting you off. Go ahead.
Okay. When it happens, it happens. Right now, I'm just going to sit there with speculating right now. You know what I'm saying? We got to see how it plays out. But let me take the other calls.
Okay.
All right. Who's this?
What's going on? JNYC.
All right, stay right there, JNYC. I'm opening my line. All right, I'll open the next line. Who's this?
You muted me and unmuted.
It's a big old C, blood.
Yeah, it does that sometimes when I click on it.
Okay. I thought that you was calling me when you said that.
JNYC, you talked to Jay-Z yet, nigga?
All right,
I don't know
JNYC. Guys. All right, JNYC, what's up? What's on your mind?
I don't know. You had, was the subject matter the same in the beginning? Because I heard you reading some other stuff.
Right now, well, the subject, as you know, the title is deal with the Manosphere and my take on all of this, what it really is. My perspective on it. I can't go and conclude because people that listen late to the show, I'm not going to do that. You have to go back.
No, I got you, but you said my perspective, but on what? Your perspective, my perspective on what? You could tell me that, and then I could go from there. Well, we talking about the Jay-Z situation. My perspective on the situation with Jay-Z?
Well, I'll say that because you call it. What's your take on the Manosphere? Before I say anything.
Yeah, we talked with this all facts. I agree with what he said, man. And that, like he even says, that it has a pros and cons, right? So, to a certain extent, yes, the NFL is winning big. They're going to win bigger, but he's going to win, and as a door opener, it got to start somewhere, So he's going to be the one in there. What NFL team and all that, I don't know. Was the like all the inside stuff, obviously, but I would say this, that from the inside now he's having talks with these people. They know they messing with him because they know he got power and he could bring more money to them, or bring them back to what they were making or whatever. The thing is, they know they messing with him because he could bring something to the table. It's the same thing like when they get football players, right? So each football player, they trying to get the best because they do this. So even, if we look at him upset, people upset, then we say, well, what about every player that's playing on the NFL? Every brother is playing on the NFL or that's affiliated working. Then you got to go to everybody that's watching football from the hood to the suburbs. We're going to be mad at everybody. So I just say he's a one door opener. Yes, NFL is winning and they using him, utilizing, but that's how business is. If he could make something out of it, besides himself, and get other brothers employed, more money, in different positions of power, eventually breaking the same cycle or their cycle as far as NFL. That this I guess a pivotal moment, as they say, and I'll leave it there.
All right, what's a big OC? What in regards? Did you catch the early part of this broadcast? You called it pretty late when I was mentioning about football, which really is not really the topic of this show.
I heard you reading something earlier because I called in earlier. You were reading something.
Okay.
But I know you were talking about the Manosphere, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Well, the only thing I know about the Manosphere is, I guess, a couple of YouTube platforms that I've listened to. You know what I'm saying? And it ain't my cup of tea. You know what I'm saying? But I think there's different groups out there on YouTube that are open for shit like that, man. You can form any kind of group online, and I believe there's people out there that are going to join because half the time, most of these motherfuckers are never going to meet anyway. And I guess my question always is when these people form these groups, do they ever have a conversation about ever meeting and really coming together to try and do something, tangibly instead of
talking all day, because at the end of the day, you could talk till you blue in the face, and all that talking does is, give us opportunities to pat each other on the back and shit like that. But half the time, I don't even think we're listening to each other anymore, because we've got to a point where we all want to talk, and we get an opportunity to talk here on these YouTube streets. And sometimes I don't know if anybody, we never have a conversation. I think somebody should do a show about what we've learned from the people we've conversated with. You know what I'm saying? Because
that doesn't sound like a bad idea. That doesn't sound like a bad idea. I might.
Yeah, and at the same time, we may have to give some of the people we listen to on these lines props for coming through with good information, having their shit sound, and bringing something to the table, because that's exactly what we're looking for, intelligent ideas and things to spark conversation. So I give big shouts out to brothers that come on here and have their shit together. But
Big OC, hold on a second. Let me open this next line. Kind of want to sign drop. Who's this?
Big J here. Since really want me to call in.
Wait, sir. Let Big OC finish.
Yeah, and that's what I was gonna mention, man. I want to hear Big J speak on the Manosphere, but real quick to get on the Jay-Z piece. Times have clearly changed. I guess for our community, because I remember hearing some of our scholars and intellects tell us that athletes and entertainers aren't really the ones who are going to spark change for black folks. So I don't know if something has changed amongst our communities, but I haven't heard many older people speak on what's going on with Jay-Z and things like that, and if they truly believe he's in that position to exact any kind of change, because we can't assume all of a sudden they say Jay-Z is supposed to be an owner or something that we expect the NFL to have changed. The owners are still there. The owners have been there for a lot of years, and Jay-Z ain't gonna just come in and say, "Oh yeah, we need you to do this and do that." I don't think that's how the game gonna go. As far as I'm concerned, I was never looking for a black owner in the NFL. Most of the motherfucking players is niggas. And so as far as I'm concerned, I just want to see good football played. And as long as this brother's playing it, that's fine with me. I like to watch the game. I don't give a fuck about who's owning the teams and this, that, and that. And I ain't going to cry for niggas to get millions and millions and millions of more dollars. Just play the game that y'all niggas say y'all trying to play, and that's how I'm looking at it. But go ahead.
All right, thanks, Big OC. What's up, Big J? What's on your mind?
If you're talking about the Black Manosphere, let that shit crumble. Let the Black Manosphere eat itself alive. Let it destroy itself. And you, Gary, you owe the cheerleading anger man in them. So let them crumble.
If you think about it, these are the founding fathers said that it should crumble. And now I see why this says crumble, because when I found this, it makes sense. You don't want to be labeled from this same propaganda, from all these articles that put out what it is. I won't be part of that. If I was part of this weirdness, Manosphere, Black Manosphere, these pills, which this is something new to me for the last couple months. And now let it die. Hold on. So now I find out that why I feel them starting to walk away from it. It makes sense. Because we're not thinking, why would somebody say that they create some offshore off the Manosphere, which is the white Manosphere, they get this from. Now they're divorcing of it, because really and truly, once you're labeled that you're this and that, you don't want to be nothing associated. Because when people look it up and see you're this, and they find this through their smartphone, they're going to label you that same way. So it would make sense for any person with some intelligence and some goddamn sense to say, I'm not part of, I'm creating some other movement. And instead of fighting and say, yo, take that shit down. That is not representation. That's slander, and I will sue you if you keep that online. No person, especially part of what they call the Black Manosphere, are doing anything. All they do is try to say, ignore what is said out online. We create some different. No, you stand on your job. If you create something, you fight it. Simple as that. Sitting there creating some alternative from that just to shield yourself from what the definition really is problematic. That tells you you're not organized. Anytime a person wants, a man or the system want to make a change and put that out there, people start to get scared and worried. Just how they put that, what they call it, that label, black man, this something, terrorist stupidness. You see how black man folded on that. All they do is put a label and that's it. Dude's going to walk away and say, I'm not that no more. I'm walking away from that. Because they don't stand on nothing. And you know this, Big J, Triple X. So regardless if it crumbles not, it never was on a foundation from the fucking start.
Hey, Gary, you said it was some bullshit?
What do you think? Big OC.
So, wait a minute. So, them niggas is beefing now? Are them niggas beefing now over there?
Man, look. They've been beefed there for 2 years. I don't know why y'all acting surprised on this shit. And it's like what I told these so-called founding fathers. You cannot create anything out of hate and expect it to last. I kept telling them dumbass Negroes, y'all fighting amongst yourselves over some stupid ass shit. And I'm glad it's burning down. Let that shit. I was against it when they was creating that shit. I was against it because it wasn't about shit. You know, it's always about the black woman, her hair weave. I'm telling you the shit I'm tired of hearing. Black woman and her hair weave. Black woman, her bad attitude. The black woman and her badass kids. The out of wedlock births. The black woman and her food stamps. Pookie and Ray. Why is the black woman choosing Pookie and Ray over the educated lame and woo. And ABC, you're lying your ass off because ABC, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. See, I'm talking about you here for a minute because I know you're on the line. You claim, I see you in the chat room talking all this shit, but you never go to on my platform. You never go to anybody else's platform on here when actually shit is actually being discussed. You only come on T.R.S. and you doing these little pat people on the head as if you're everybody's daddy, and you trying to tell people the quote unquote truth when you don't know what's going on, what is the real topics about. So like you need to be ashamed of yourself for doing that shit in the chat room. You don't know what the hell what I'm about. You just assuming shit. And you tell me I was a part of them. I never said I was a part of them bitch ass niggas. Never said that. I was against it.
Is the Manosphere MGTOW too?
Okay, the Manosphere accomplice. The Manosphere is an umbrella term. Oh my God! Can I finish my point? Can I finish my point, Gary? Can I finish my point, Gary? No, the Manosphere is an umbrella term. It's actually an umbrella term for people who are men's rights. Your MGTOWs, and you got your PUAs, which is your players. You got your players and your pimps, and you got like one strand that's your TFL incel motherfuckers who and you got this other branch, and the black Manosphere is basically the same, but they're more geared towards the black community shit. And then when niggas, they just talk about the same damn shit over and over. Oh, the black woman, the black woman, the black woman. And I'm like, y'all just
who would be considered the black Manosphere?
Well, Gary one of them because Gary's all over it all the time.
Gary, wait a minute.
I'm not part of Manosphere. Listen. Stop right there. I'm not part of no fucking organization that Big J be associating himself. It makes time himself. For me to talk about this, and I think I know who's the one that hit the like. I know it was you, Big J, because you mentioned this alone as a prop. When I asked you a question about inside, you kind of shied about that question. The only reason why I'm talking about this because I've come to the conclusion that black men don't stand on no shit at all. Anytime they apply a little pressure about a different label and somebody puts it out there, they scramble and run away like little roaches. You know what I'm saying? Instead of being bold. And if somebody could put any propaganda on any movie that so-called was created for the last 5 or 4 years, I'm not sure if that's how long. How long has it been around? Big J, because you've been on YouTube longer than me.
So hold on. That's the issue. I've been around here longer than you, but yet you trying to put me into
right,
some
so how long has the so-called Manosphere, black, whatever you want to call it, been around?
The so-called black Manosphere been around since I say around 2015.
Okay, so now we look at 4 years. So let me ask you a question. What has it really seriously accomplished?
Not a goddamn thing, just like I told them niggas they ain't accomplishing a goddamn thing. Told them that.
Okay, so if it ain't accomplished anything at all, right? And you know me, I don't sit there make or talk about some subjects I don't know of until I sit back and know what's going on and then conclude what is. So sit there, how the hell you put me in a space that I have not even one understanding, much as sit there, witness it, sit back, and then conclude what it really is.
Well, Gary, do you support Charles? Do you support Charles Walker?
Wait, stop. Before you say anything, these dudes, they've been hauling and raping about the sisters for years now, right? Let me ask a question. Have these black women, have they accepted autocorrect with all the nonsense that's been going on these spaces? And the behaviors, action that the men been complaining about. Have they autocorrect? That's my question. I guess not.
Can I finish my point? Because
Well, let me answer this question real quick, Bridget, because you took a long pause. I'm just saying, Gary, listen. One thing you got to realize, Gary, is that some type of accomplishments may not be tangible. You may not be able to hold those accomplishments in your hand. If they're having a platform and trying to change people's mind or wake them up, if they change one person's mind, and changing that person's mind, changing the person's behavior, and they actually bring something into manifestation. And then they can even told whether it's a girl that they are, a wife that they always want, and they've been picking them out, or they want to be a player, they get 4 or 5 women, that's their goal. You can't say that they haven't accomplished anything. Just because it's not a multi-million-dollar company and they haven't opened schools, they may have changed some people's mind, which is some people can say dangerous or some people can say helpful. So, but to each his own, man. You just can't say that they haven't accomplished anything. So.
Oh, shit. Hey, yo, Big J, they talking about you on the platform like crazy. All right, but go on when you say, Big J. I know you.
You know what? Why should I waste my time talking to you, Gary? The only thing I'm gonna get on this.
Well, it's like I said, either you gonna respond or not. It's that simple. Either you think it's waste time.
Hey, Jay.
Move it.
Big J. Who is Big Booty Brenda?
Big Booty Brenda is an archetype that your boy Gary because he follows B.J. Igmore and Charles Faulkner, because Big Booty Brenda is a stereotype of a black woman with a lot of kids.
Yeah, black woman with a big ass. Right?
What about Charles Faulkner?
Yeah, Charles Faulkner. See, you support Charles Faulkner, Gary. You support Cerulean Gray, Gary. You support Angry Man.
What's wrong with Charles Faulkner?
Gary, so don't sit there.
Before you can say what is wrong with Charles Faulkner? I have him on this guest many times, and you sometimes have these conversations with him. What's wrong with Charles Faulkner? And he's not here with them, so
you support. No, you bad mouthing. Hold on, you've been bad. You trying to use that Manosphere card on me, trying to bad mouth me. But Charles Faulkner is actually a supporter of the Black Order. the Black Order wing of the Black Manosphere, and you trying to come at me sideways. I'm not even a part of the bullshit. See how dumb you are, Gary? See how dumb you are?
Damn, Gary.
The Black Order.
You understand me? So if Charles is like you said, deals with the Black Order and all that stuff, that's fine.
That shit did sound scary, didn't it, yo? That shit sounds scary as shit when he said that shit. Damn, Order, what the fuck?
Hold on. What is
the Black Order? What the fuck?
Gary.
Damn, that shit sounds scary. The fuck going on around this bitch, OC?
Hold on. Gary.
That's some underground shit. Come on.
Gary. The analyst does something, Gary. What is the Black Order, Gary?
Yeah, what does the Black Order do? Do they bomb WIC centers? Do they blow up WIC centers? What do they do? Do they blow up hair salons? Wig shops? What do they do?
No. You see what Gary did? Gary came at me sideways tonight. I simply turn around, turn tables on him. You can't sit there and come at me sideways. When you actually are a supporter of all of these individuals.
But no. You already labeled yourself as one of these groups. You subscribe to the MGTOW. The incel, you say you don't deal with that, which is okay. I'm saying, because, that's crazy in itself from what I read definition tonight about that. But it's like this. This thing with the Manosphere, I already gave my takes on it. It's full of rubbish, regardless of what you view of it and how it's progressing or is decline.
No, we need to sit there.
The same propaganda put hosts on and say, you are a misogynist, you're this and that. So that means you are a fault in line that hate order and that they don't like deal with that. So anytime when people say that I am a part of this, I'm part of that. All you gotta do is take their nice little smartphone or
you
iPhone,
are part of the Manosphere, Gary. Stop it, Gary. You are part of the Black Manosphere.
I didn't fall on that. I said, damn, niggas, you're not organized. They just put some propaganda hit on you. Defend your shit, man. You should be so organized that you mention there's gonna be a slap of a lawsuit or do something. No time rebuttal. The only thing men do or so come and do, they'll sit there, play it off, and say, "Who's cutting their branch?"
Why are you running, Gary? Why are you running, Gary? Why are you running, Gary? Why are you running, Gary?
Big J, listen. At the end of the day, niggas ain't organized, and this is the point I bring this out. And it shows say the lack of organization. That has
why are you running, Gary? Answer the question, Gary.
So, what question? Now, if you ask me if I'm part of these orders, I already said no.
Guys, just say you're part of them, yo. Them people ain't gonna get them people in them. You got like you want them to get in formation or some shit, or stand, make a line and stand one behind the other. He wants straight order and shit. Like he in a lunch line. Get in line and shit, guys. Get in line. One behind each other. Come on, get the fuck out of here, yo. He want to get them niggas in formation. Man, it's order. You're a part of them, guys. That's it, man. You got your right. You're part of them. You fuck with them. Shit, I fuck with them.
But Gary can't sit there lie on me because how many times Charles been on here? How many times Charles Faulkner been on here? How many times Rudy Gray been on here?
You know me, Tom, Big J? You can say that now. You know me, Tom? And no bullshit on here.
Hey, at least my woman called on here about 3 years ago. Where is your woman at, Gary? Well, where is your woman at? No, where is your woman at, Gary? At least my lady called on this show. So what
goddamn minute, man. Wait.
Back up, OC.
Because y'all niggas ain't getting nowhere. Y'all, two niggas from the same club can't argue. Nah, two niggas from the same club can't argue.
Yeah.
I'm not from the
Y'all
same
ain't getting
club.
nowhere. Y'all ain't getting
I'm
nowhere.
not from no
y'all
club.
Like two fucking Masons don't want to give up the secrets, and y'all talking in circles.
No, I'm not talking. I ain't talking in circles. I'm going directly to him.
Big J, were you a member of MGTOW? Big J.
MGTOW, I never was a member of MGTOW because MGTOW was not an organization. Thank you.
Okay. Were you ever a supporter of MGTOW? Whatever they believe.
In some of their tenets, I do agree with them. Next.
Okay, that's all we need to know. That's it.
No. Here we go with that's all I need to know, and trying to use that.
Big J, everyone on this line that's on here regularly know you came on here and spoke about MGTOW. In the positive.
No.
Right or
yes,
wrong?
I have.
Right or wrong?
Yes, I have.
Okay,
you know why? Because you know why? No, because you're trying to form a talking point. Now, Gary.
I'm not trying to form anything.
Get out of here.
Talking points are good when you're debating, Big J. Big J, talking points are good when you debate. It's good when you're trying to get your point across. Talking points are very good. Keep it up, Jose.
Big O C was right, so you got to.
No, wait a minute. Now, Gary. No, hold on.
Go back to Gary so they can talk.
Yeah, you damn right. You damn right though, because Gary came at me sideways for the past 2 weeks. So I got you.
Actually, I came sideways.
Gary. You supported the Black Order.
I'm going to do this a good favor. Let's sit back and relax for tonight, all right?
Is the Black Order a real thing?
Relax, all right? You're MGTOW? Okay, good. I hope you're still not part of the organization before. Great. But other than that, we're not having a discussion. I already told you I don't associate with these fuckboy organizations. I never say, yes, I'm part of this and that. You should know that already. Everybody been listening to the show for some time. Big OC, you been listening. Jay, you say, no one even asked, say, oh, are you part of this? I said, no. I mean, hearing about these organizations sometimes. The people that I have on as guests, I don't know if they admit they're part of the organization. BGS Igmore has his own organization called Igmore Dynasty. I had him on as a guest. Now, I don't subscribe to what he does, but I only deal with the information. Nothing more, nothing less. That's how you fucking move. You don't sit there to subscribe to all these weird organizations. Now, if they have structure and they're moving on something and you're getting some benefit, okay. If it helps you, good. But I don't subscribe to these because I sit back and look at us as a whole. We're not organized at all. Anything we do as men. And as much as we can argue about, we got to be honest, we're not organized. And that's the purpose of tonight's show. So with this organization. You can't sit there full and then disconnect yourself from a movement that you fucking created 4 years ago. Because you see propaganda put out about your sensitive on stuff. Matter of fact, Wikipedia and all these other sites should not have the balls to put that out to somebody to say, yo, take that down now. That's misrepresenting the organization as collective. They're not doing that. Because they know what it is. And everybody knows the first rule of warfare is what? Propaganda. Whether it's true or not. So
is the Black Order real? Is the Black Order a real thing?
I don't think so.
Look, ABC's scared as shit. AB like, damn, yo, is it a real thing, man? This shit is crazy. The Black Order. He has it with the real. I hope it's a dream. It's fairy tale.
Those niggas like nail salons. They attack nail salons. Wig centers.
I don't know what it is. But it's some other thing else. But one thing
it sounds like the Illuminati or something.
Yeah, I think you could say it like who knows?
The Black Illuminati.
I would say for any guys that have any closing remarks for tonight's show, any last minute questions or closing remarks?
Yeah, what's the initiation in the Black Order? Is there initiation there?
Yeah, how do you get in MGTOW, Big J? How do you get initiation?
I learned to life, man. I'm not with these groups.
You have to be able to determine a lace front from a basket weave. You have to be able to tell.
All facts. I know you more in the
the tech field, and I'm not sure you've been following YouTube like that. If not, it's not really too concerned. But like I said, there's a lot of people create these new labels and stuff. You know what I'm saying? How well these organizations go for, who knows?
Right.
I don't have
right.
The only thing I deal with today was just to deal with the information that's put forth with all these labels and what really inclines, why they really separate. I try to look at the main source. Even talking about this tonight was going to be a problem. As you can see, guys, tonight, most people respond. You get me? This is something that no one's talking about. You get me?
Yeah, I got you. That was the thing. Yeah, that was the thing with your show. Okay, I got you.
Because remember what ABC said, this is what issue I do is have a problem with. You know what I'm saying? And like men right here, life moves on. If women don't like you, all right, find the next one. It should not be hard. You get me?
Yeah. There's a difference between teaching and preaching, and there's a lot of preaching online. So,
I got a question. I got a question about all this stuff. Are most of the guys that belong to the Manosphere guys that
Can you
don't
talk
have
up?
women?
You sound low on the thing, man. Please talk up.
Are most of the guys in the Manosphere guys who can't get a girl?
From what I'm reading, that might be the case. I can't confirm, but the whole purpose of them creating the Manosphere is to fight back against the feminism. You know what I'm saying? Women attacking men. You know what I'm saying? Taking all these things.
Okay. And the way to do that is be a pimp. Right. And the way to do that is to have multiple holes. Multiple holes.
Anyway.
Huh? No, no. I'm just saying. You said, I thought, correct me wrong. You said that somebody was over there talking about players and pimps and that type of stuff. Did I hear that? Well, I may be wrong.
Or no.
I may be wrong.
Said that, I think.
Big J.
Okay. Big J said that. Okay, I may be wrong. Okay, I'm just let me step back. That was my question.
All right. Thank you. What do you call it? All facts. Big OC. ABC, you have any questions?
All right, bro.
Any questions, Mark?
No, I'm good. I guess I still want to know. I don't know if I'm correct in thinking that these are guys that whine all the time. I know y'all been discussing, but I don't know if it's clear that that's what they are. I think that's what they are, guys that whine and cry all the time.
I mean, if you think about it, because of the climate of this country and how men are saying they're being very much abused, or whatever case they have with women, that might be the major reason why these organizations are created, to combat what is being presented in regards to socialization of society. So that's how I conclude. Everybody has their own opinion why.
And it's about, and can I say one more thing, Gary, please? I'm sorry, I know you have to close the arguments, but I think it's about taming, too. Let's control these women. Men don't have control of these women. It's about control also. She's out there making money, and some of them say the white man give them that check, and them fans, and them Section 8. Men don't have control. It's about taming also. It's about taming that woman, and some of them get frustrated. And then to each his own, man. You know what I mean? To each his own. And I understand
that's a good point, actually.
The men, it is because that's the way it is. And I understand they may be frustrated. Whether I agree, I'm not even gonna get into that because I don't get into those type of topics. I'm not a preacher. I preach to anybody else. I like to share information, give my opinion on shit, but I won't tell somebody how to motherfucking live. But I'm just saying, some of them just may have problems and frustration about taming a woman. She's loose. She's not in order. And she's not. There's no organization. They're not in order, as you say. But that's it. That's it.
But all facts, you got to understand, in regards to all the benefits like the SNAP, food stamp, all that stuff, everybody pays into the system. So there's nothing like they're getting that for free if they qualify for it. You understand me? When I heard about that, everybody that when they take their own money, wherever, tax, wherever, they pay into that system. So there's nothing really free that say people leech off because everybody pays at the end of the day. You get me?
Oh, no. I wasn't talking about that. I was talking about, okay, yeah, I got you. Yes, I got you. I'm done. I'm talking. I'm finished.
All right.
That's it.
All right. I'd like to thank ABC. All right, so no one else. Okay. I'd like to thank everybody for listening to tonight's show. And let me hit up Tyrone Thompson one bit and see if he's still there. Matter of fact, y'all talk for a second. Let me
Good show, Gary. At least we had something there. You kept the lights on. Good dialogue, and I gotta give it to you. You know, you didn't mute Big J. You took it like a man. I respect that. Oh, now it's 12 midnight, so you already know. Or the wolves coming out.
All right. Thank you, JYC, and thank everybody for listening. Appreciate it. Let me see what's the next stream. I'll think of a subject. But other than that, thank everybody for listening to tonight's show. Be on the lookout for the next stream. And until next time, take care now. Goodbye.
Comment, subscribe, and like the channel. And like always,